Hey y'all, hola mi gente. It's your favorite Georgia Rican here with another quick, easy recipe that your family will love. Today we're smoking some butts in the smoker, and so I thought, what would be good that's not super heavy? I mean, pasta is a carb, but you know, that's kind of yummy and delicious, and I thought of pasta salad. So I'm gonna do a little Georgia Puerto Rican really. One of my best friend's aunt gave me this recipe several years ago, and I love it. And it's just elbow mac, some bell peppers, garlic. We're using some Southern Duke's mayo, pimentos, olives, and usually we put, my water's boiling for the pasta. Usually we put some apple in it and a little bit of onion, but I don't have an apple. Okay, so this is all the ingredients that you'll need for the Puerto Rican elbow mac salad. Super yummy. Just a box of elbow macaroni noodles, whatever, or if you want a different shape, that's fine too. Some eggs, mayo. Here in the South, we use Duke's. Fresh garlic, that's important. Some pimentos. You have, this is just an extra garlic. This is how they come in that little package. That's why I like them. They're pre-peeled, and then they have these little separated, sealed off packages so you don't have to use the whole thing. Some olives, and then your seasonings that you want. This has had better days. This bell pepper, and I have a little bit of bell pepper here, so unless I don't use all this, I might need some. A little bit of onion. And then what I don't have today, which I love to put in it, and this is how I learned from one of my friends' aunts, is an apple. I know it sounds kind of weird, but everything gets minced up so small that you don't, it's not like you get a big chunk of apple or anything like that, but the sweetness brings it. So these are your ingredients. Just whatever macaroni, pasta, bell peppers, a little bit of onion, some eggs because we're going to boil them, some pimentos, and olives. And this really makes a difference. The olives and the garlic, it just all together gives a distinctive Spanish Puerto Rican flavor. And then the mayo. Of course, adobo is your all-purpose seasoning, salt and pepper. Really basic. You want the garlic and the olive to really, and this to really infuse the flavor into the mayo. You don't want to like overpower it with seasonings. I mean, it's going to be seasoned well, but you want these to kind of shine. Once you get your eggs water boiling, let it get to a bigger boil, a rolling boil, and then you can turn it off, put the lid on it if you have a pot with a lid, or put a plate if you don't have a lid on it, and turn off the heat and set it aside for about 10 to 15 minutes, and your eggs should be perfectly boiled. Now that they've come to a rolling boil, I'm just going to turn off the heat, put the lid on. You can leave it on the eye as long as it doesn't bubble, or just put it aside and put your timer for 15 minutes. And they'll be done. Now I'm getting my water heated up for the pasta, and some people, they put a little bit of olive oil in their thing to keep it sticking. I think the magic from keeping your pasta sticking is just hot water. You don't want to put your pasta in a cold pot of water. And one thing that I do to my water is I do season it, because your pasta is going to soak up the water, so why not it soak up some salty water? And that way it's already part of the seasonings done for you. This is some sea salt. And so I'm going to let that boil. Then I'm going to taste the water to see if it's salty enough for me. Because you can always add to your pot, but you can't take away. So I'm going to put the lid on and let that come to boil. My pasta water is ready. So let's go ahead and get these in. And I'm just using 1 pound. And then you just turn it around once you put in this hot water. And then they're not gonna stick. All right, I'm gonna leave it uncovered. It's gonna come back to a bowl and be done in about 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, so now that I got my pasta boiling, my eggs are sitting, getting finished up. What I'm gonna do now is just basically chop and drop. I'm going to infuse as much flavor as I can in the mayo. And that's basically a very easy, simple trick. Sometimes people will just put everything with the noodles and start mixing around. And I find that if you put all your spices and all your flavor into the mayo, so as I was saying, whatever you put in your mayo, whatever your mayo touches is gonna have all that flavor in. So we are going to, let me see, let me pause. All right, there. We're gonna just go ahead and put, there's not much in here, so I'm gonna use a whole, and this is probably 1/4 cup right now. Of mayo. A little bit of that Georgia flavoring with Duke's mayo. I used to be a Hellman's girl. And then I got turned on to Duke's several years ago, living here in Georgia, and I like it. So I've been using it ever since. Okay, so let's put some more. I want at least a cup of mayo. That looks good. Probably about maybe a cup and a half or a cup and 1/4. And then you can either use like a manual food processor or this like little chopper. Because what you want to do is you want to mince everything about the same size. I'm going to start with my garlic. I put a lot of garlic in here. If you watch any of my videos, you know I'm a avid garlic eater. We love garlic here. We don't shy away from it. So I have about 4 good size and then a tiny little bit of a clove. Go ahead and so I'm basically going to mince this up. I'm going to mince about 8 olives. All this, which is about 1/4 of a bell pepper. And this is just a half of a small to medium onion. I'm going to mince those up, put it in here, start seasoning it, taste it, and see what I need to add more of. These are already diced, so I'm going to go ahead and mince them up a little bit more. And then we'll be back, and we're just going to chop and drop into our bowl of mayo right here. All right, I've done peeled my eggs. I'm about to chop them up in here and then add them to the bowl. So right now we have the minced olives, the minced garlic, minced onion, minced bell pepper, and minced pimentos. And I like to get like roasted, you know, bell peppers and stuff like that, which is basically what pimentos is. But I didn't have any. I had regular pimentos, so that's what I put in. And then I'll put some seasonings, and I'll show you how we mix it up. I got some adobo right here, some pepper. Went ahead and put that minced boiled eggs in there. And we're about to mix this all up so you can see how it's all going to incorporate together. See, everything's about the same size. And basically what this is creating is a bit of confetti in your mayo base. There you go. This is how it looks. Little pieces. So, you know, for you guys that have littles and they don't like to see their veggies, this is basically going to disappear. As you can tell them it's confetti. So now I'm going to put the macaroni the noodles inside of here. So I like to put it together when it's still a little bit like hot. It's not like hot, but when the heat of the macaroni noodles hit this, that garlic, the oils kind of spread out, and I think that's what makes it just extra yummy. You see that? So it kind of is very little. Your kids aren't, I mean, they'll pick anything out, but This is very minimal as far as like, it's not chunky, big pieces. And y'all, it is super yummy. Super yummy. All right, so there you have it. Yummy macaroni salad, Puerto Rican style, with adobo, with pimentos, with bell peppers and onion. We're missing that apple that gives it a little bit of that sweetness, but it's fine. It's gonna be delicious either way. Lots and lots of garlic and some Duke's mayo, salt and pepper. And that's all she wrote, y'all. I'm gonna let it chill, and then, here, let me give y'all, let me taste it, just to make sure we don't need anything. And then it has boiled eggs in it as well. Oh my god. Yep. I ended up putting a few more olives than what I originally had said. I think I told you like 8 or 9. I think I probably put more, almost like 15. Because I like that briny. So got Richie seasoning some corn fresh from the garden, last year's garden. We got a little butter mixture with some Cajun seasonings and fresh garlic, butter, a little bit of olive oil. Brushing them on there. They're gonna be delicious. And on this side, we got some butts in here that's been smoking all day. We got the Weber over there grilling, the Traeger over here smoking. It's gonna be good tonight. So here's the corn all grilled with all the garlicky goodness, and it looks amazing. Can't wait to put it all together with the smoked butts and the Puerto Rican mac salad. Hey y'all, I'm back. Everything's been done. We're about to dig in. We have our grilled corn, our Puerto Rican pasta salad, and we have this wonderful butt that is just, you see that steam coming out? It's pulling apart beautifully. I'm gonna pull this, shred this up, and serve me a little bite here. Kind of give you guys a little play-by-play of how things go. All right, so let's just dig in here and see what we got. Oh man, super yummy. I can taste the olives obviously in the garlic. You see this pulled pork my husband made. See that redness, that smoke ring. So yummy. Let me try it without any barbecue. Oh, that's tender. And so good. Actually, it doesn't need any barbecue sauce. That's delicious. All right, let's try this yummy corn out. It's good and tender. Garlicky. Yummy. My husband did a good job. I got lipstick all over it. That's super good. If you've never grilled corn, do it. You're missing out. So what do you think, Rich?
It's good. It's delicious.
It was just missing one thing. What was that?
It was the Lord's sweet tea.
And lastly, from my kitchen to yours, buen provecho.